Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skylines. But today, boys, we're going to take a look at building our first airport within the region. I'm going to go all out. I mean, you wouldn't normally start with a smaller airport, but I'm going for the big boy right now. We're going to hopefully hook it up to the metro lines too, and it's going to bring a lot more people to the region, give a lot more services needs, and just more pizzazz in general. Now, if you enjoy this, guys, please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. Now, last episode, we took a look at doing all of our kind of utility needs. The electricity, the water, the sewage, the garbage, and so on and so on. We created these nice little handy pockets, and things seem to be working out pretty well for us. Well, today as well, I want to take a look at all the kind of the services buildings, if that's what you want to call it. You know, the policing, the healthcare, the fire station. You know what I mean, and the death care too. I want to take a look at all of those, making sure that all of those areas right now are up to par, and also take a look at the education side of things as well. Now, I've been giving it many thoughts on where we could pretty much place an airport in the area. So if you kind of view it from this kind of angle right now, we have a lot of space still left to work with right now. It's kind of crazy how much space we've still got left to go. But I want it to be near an area where we're not going to see much, issues with planes landing and taking off. And that's probably going to be more around the water here. So if I can get the runways kind of more angled in the direction of where the water flows, then the planes can land pretty easy, not really any hassle. So you're kind of looking over at this side right now. Also, the airport that I want to use is this one. The big, what's it classed? Is it the Metropolitan Airport? Yeah. 2 runways. It also gives us the ability to hook up a metro line and a helicopter line too. I don't know whether we utilize a helicopter line. But what I need to do, I'm going to get back into that, is I need to figure out how we're going to hook it all up. Now, we've got our loop right now with the metro line going around that loop. And then we potentially have a second loop that's going to come down to there, comes down to here, which will eventually progress into here, turn to go up this way, go around before connecting back into that main station. And we also have right now this loop, which is going to go up and round in that kind of method. So it won't be on this loop. I'm thinking it might be a good idea for me now to kind of slowly get this next loop connected. So I don't really want it over on this side because I don't really have any plans for this. Already right now I can see there's a highway running here. So if I place it around this kind of area, then it's a small little section. So we kind of got some ideas of what needs to go down. Now, things I want to do before I put the airport in is I want to give the airport a highway connection. That way traffic coming in and out can get in pretty easy. But before I do, there's a few roads that need to cross over the canal system right now and kind of lead into this area before I can get everything all set up. So first things first, then we're going to work with this road right now. We're going to bridge it up, and that's going to be one of our main dedicated roads leading over. There we go, using the trees right now. So we're about, actually, you know what, I'll just go for the 10. 10 by 10, usual stuff. Bam. And then we'll choose it to be the bridge styling. So a 20 over, and if I anarchy it so I can get it actually over, that would be glorious. And then down to 0, get rid of the kind of the bridge styling, and we've got a nice little overpass right there, which will kind of allow us to lead in pretty much any direction we want to go. So at the moment, that's the only passing. We'll probably have like a couple of additional ones coming off these roads, but that's the main style of road we're going to have anyway. So if that leads over to here, then we kind of need to figure out how we want to run parallel with the highway, because that will be kind of important to how we, progress and do it. So I thought about, shall I just do kind of something like a big trumpet to allow the traffic to flow easily over in that direction to the airport? The answer is probably yes, but let me first figure out how far I want to stick out. So that would be about a 20, right? Yeah. So if I ran this, or do I want it to be a 20? Because if I create a connection to that area, then the junction will be way too close. So what if I did like a 40 away? So if I did a 40 away, And if I was to create one of these, how far are we away on this? So that there is a 30, and then that would be a 10. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. That's the 40 away right there. All right, not bad, not bad. I'll probably push a bit further down before I do create the connection about here. But if this led out, the bend happens round about up there. So let me kind of just get this all done and dusted. So how far are we away from that? I would say that's about a 21. So if I come out by 11, then you would argue then that should be like a 10 by 10, right? 10. 10 by 10. It's only a very minute bend. But it just works to run parallel with the highway. So whatever happens down here, it's something that I kind of set up in the future. So we're going to have two types of connections. We're going to have the ground connection, and we're going to have the above ground connection too, for the interchange for the highway. So I will copy and paste one of these over, which kind of will stagger it quite far. And then how that works then is going to then kind of be set up for how we do everything else. I'm trying to look at my trumpets right now. Did they all the trumpets that I have all swing over to the right? To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Okay, so with that in mind, right, I want to push it a bit further down. So say I chose, for example, this section here. So I'm just kind of create my little marker for how I want it to kind of progress in. And then the actual airport itself, I mean, forget the big sticky out bits that are kind of going over the road right now, because they're the helicopter paths. If I had it, because I could actually kind of reclaim a little bit of land over the waterfront, but if I had it about there, one reason being the runway running parallel with the water, there's no really any kind of issues. The runway running towards the water and then running towards our industrial area that way, over the water's fine. Running that way, if I kind of be a bit careful from, if you look at the straight line where it touches the road, if I be a bit careful with not placing too much stuff around that section, then we're going to be okay. But I feel like I need to kind of progress a little bit further out to about there for the bend of the interchange. So if I place it about here, right, very long-winded and all that kind of jazz, but this is going to be good. We'll reclaim a little bit of land right now, so I'll just quickly pause it. Brush size up. And kind of roughly go around it. There we go. If I select the whole thing right now real quick and just kind of get it to be elevated pretty much to the same object height of the... Let me try that again. It's not really working out too well, is it? Of you. Right, does it not want to play ball? What seems to be the issue right now? Should I delete it and pull it back in? Alright, okay. Good job we got unlimited money, boys. Alright, so if I get it about there then. Is that now all the same level? I don't know what's going on right now with this. I don't know what's going on with this. But you should not be going up and down like this. So arrange the same object height of, for example, you. Why is that doing that? I have no idea why it's doing that right now. Maybe I can... Can't even do anything like that. Can't even select individual nodes. That's weird, isn't it? That's weird why it's doing that. Should I just press play mode for a minute and just let the water disappear? And then we'll place it back down again? I think so. I think so. Right, while it does that then, we'll kind of get the trumpet all placed in. So the previous ones that I copied, I actually copied it from this trumpet. So if I do the same again. So take it from there. And then basically all I want to do is take away the bits that I don't want. So get rid of all of this. Get rid of them. Got to get rid of the structures underneath. So I basically don't want the highway that it connects to. The last bit of road of the connection is what I don't want. Because then I can manipulate that however I want it to be connected. So it's then just a case of getting rid of all of this. I know there's easier ways to get this, and I've just done it the long-winded way, but I've got time to kill at the minute because I'm waiting for that water to disperse. Alright, be gone, Folio. Alright, is there a connection under there I'm hooking onto? Alright, get rid of you. You're not connected on, are you? No. Alright, I think we're okay. Right, there we go. So I can literally just duplicate it. And I've got to now, I got the ability to work with it. Wow, so much water. And I'm going to try and get it aligned with the entry point there. Because we're going to change that road to a single lane. And we're going to try and merge this highway above and beyond it and down to it. So if I kind of get it roughly lined up. So I would say that's roughly about... Maybe bend it a bit there. Right, I want to say that's about it. And we'll just kind of manipulate the rest of it to kind of get it all connected. But that should be about it right now. Right, there's enough time passed right now that I can now... Right, pause. Get the airport placed down. Or is the airport going to have a right nightmare on me again? Finally, it actually gets placed in where I want it. Right, okay, pause. Glorious. Absolutely glorious right now. So that's going to aid us. That means I have to kind of create some road situations to place down where we could potentially put the metro lines and whatnot. But this should work out for us. This should work out for us. So I want this to be connected down to here. So if I first get this all up and running. So this here is a 3x3 bend. So if I do a 3x3, 3 by... Is that 3x3 or 3x2? I can't see because the construction label's underneath it. So then that would mean that this here is a 4. That's a 4 there. So you kind of want smack bang in the middle, which is quite difficult to do. Bam! There is your middle point. But that middle point there should actually be like a 4-lane road. And then that 4-lane road will eventually split. It'll eventually split as we create the little overpass. So this here would be, go with normal trees, singular. Now where does that connect? So if I brought this down to here, deleted you back, 10 by 11, I'll take it. And then from this point there is when we do the raised ramps going up to the highway. That's literally how it's going to work. It's literally how it's going to work. So if I pick, if I raise it by 10, and then push this just to there for now, that'll be fine. Get this one to there, and then, I mean, you would consider dropping straight down. It does do like a little funky bend, but we should be able to fix that. Or at least give it a good go. Is that too funky, these bends? I would assume so. Maybe I could bow it out a bit. To make it look a bit normal. So it kind of goes up, bows out, and then you're in like a straight-ish line. Alright, bow that in a bit. There we go. Beautiful. So smooth, Zeniac. It's so smooth right now. I know. I know. So from there to this point, we'll elevate it up. From there to there. Oh, there. to there, elevate up. So again, smooth incline, decline, whatever you want to call it. And these roads will connect to here. Now the difference is, we're connecting to a 2-lane road. It will split into 2, so the lane math is going to be completely off on these systems. So we're just going to have to roll with that, okay? Unfortunately, we're just going to have to roll with the fact that the lane management is going to be completely off. But it is what it is. Traffic will only come in waves from the airport. So that's the only saving grace that we've kind of got. So if I kind of have upped that as much as possible. Well, I say upped it as much as possible. Oh, hang on. Hold on. That's not even the full shebang before the bend. Right, there we go. Now let's try it. So, bam. And connect there. So from there to there. Bam. Sorted, mate. So this ain't going to be perfect, but I'll use the connection mode to do it. And you're not really going to get much off it. So I'll just go to the maximum it will allow me to. So there's some type of organization on the bend. So that would be bam, 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 bam. There is where it takes place for me. So not perfect, but there we go. It kind of works. I've had to mimic it slightly and change a few things and a bits and bobs. It goes wide there to come in even closer there and narrow off. But that works. Okay. It does kind of work. Just now I got to get this connected. So from here, we're going to do it by a... I mean, a 10 seems reasonable on this. It's different everywhere else you do it because of how you kind of connect to it. But we'll go for a 10. It seems like 10's going to work. And then flip around the ones that are facing the wrong way. And then maybe pull the bend in a bit. And then obviously lane math side of things. That just splits to a 1 just there. So the only lane math that don't really work then is this point here. But like I said, the traffic should be, I wouldn't say minimal, but comes in waves that it shouldn't be an issue. And this road is kind of slow now. I think we just caught a couple of vehicles out on the wrong lanes. I think these guys are going to feel it too. Oh no, they're smart enough to change lanes beforehand. But I don't know how I feel about the bend in this, but it all bends from the start anyway, so it should be okay. It should be okay. Yeah. It's just one of them things, isn't it? So if I bend this a bit more in. Funky. Right, okay, let's quickly sort out the lane management, or the lane connectors. Right, there. 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 And there. So that's all done. Are then done here? I mean, it doesn't really make any difference, to be honest with you, doing it that way. But here is a big one. So throw that down, get rid of the traffic lights. And now we have the ability to connect directly to the airport via vehicles. Oh, these guys here have come on the bottom section. So they've drove a long way. But we do have the highway connection set up right now, which makes it a little bit easier to approach and get to this airport. So that's all good. We haven't seen any passengers come just yet. I'm not sure how I'm going to kind of finish off the finishing touches around here. But we do need to then think about the public transport side of it. So the metro... right. Underground. Let me go tunnel mode. We'll make the line that's going to connect from here, come down to here, have a stop, come over to here, stop there, and I might even use that connection there to come directly in. And I mean, I can make it do a back and forth just to this stop over here. I don't know how I feel about that, though. I really don't know. Oh, no, unless I also have that line go up, round, and then connect into one of these, like that little kind of section there. So it's kind of filtering into this, and this becomes like a grand central terminal, you know. And if they want to go over to here, they can then just switch lanes and comes back. So we have 2 lanes going to that way. The difference is this one is the one that's pushing over to here to pick up people from this side, as that continues our loop. Which would then go up to here somewhere probably. Have a stop around here somewhere, and then finish off the loop that way. So we can stop it being a back and forth and just get more efficiency with a loop, basically. And that's what we can get done. But I don't know where the stop's going to be over here. So it might be a case of where I just don't put the stop in now, and then eventually I will pull it in. Airplane is flying. Took a dramatic turn right there. Landing slightly sideways. We're all good though, boys. Manages it. There's 56 passengers on board, so it won't be that efficient just yet until we got the metros all connected to it. So for just the purpose right now of getting it all connected, that comes into the middle. Is that even connected? I feel like that's not even connected. Oh, because that the snapping's turned off, that's why. Right, now it's connected. So if I bring this out like that, like I said, eventually it will be connected down here somewhere. So if I just kind of bring it like generically out, and then what I'll do is I'll then create a large bend, which it would then go up in this direction to then connect over to here. Now, like I said, this is not going to really be perfect because we don't have a stop just there, but eventually when we do, then it's going to work out for us. But I just want to get the, I just might as well just get the loops just all kind of set in, shouldn't I? That's the best thing I could really do right now. So, utilizing this as well, bringing that straight out. So we have a stop just there. We're probably going to have a stop around here somewhere for this kind of... this is basically an island here right now. Is where we'll have that next stop. So if I bring this directly across... I'll change how all the lines run anyway when we kind of have this area all set up a bit more. So from here... Where's the snap? The snap is literally... central to the road. So if I bring that up to there, and in reality I don't know where it's going to be going. And where's that snap? So at some point we'll eventually come back to this whole section, and then we'll rework it to add stations on. But for now, I can at least get my loop set up. And I want to get the... Again, it's counterintuitive right now to have them both going here. But at least, you know, we can get more people to and from the airport. Because that outer loop is going to serve other areas. But I'll get them all set up anyway. Would we have another... To be honest with you, I could even borderline have like another stop around here for this one. But again, I'm not building up around this section just yet. So I have no kind of ability or kind of weight to do anything. So if I select you and bring this up, there's going to be a certain road that I want it to run parallel on. And I reckon that certain road will be this one. So I'll just push that down to here for a quick second. And can I pick up... Oh, that'll go like that. Just you had the lines crisscrossing one another. Alright, that will get to there, which means this would come So about there. Oh, that bend happens very, very early. All right, delete back. It's like the whole bend's taking place. Just there, but we'll kind of connect that in. So we've got a couple of lines set up right now then, which could probably make sense for us to have a nice little crisscross station just there, just for the sake of it. Very, very close together, but again, things become more intertwined and connected that way. So that line will go cut through there. Makes sense to then put something here. So we got that straight route to potentially 2 stations, 2 lines, and then end here, which could then continue. We got the loop that comes down, and you know that would be something that we interchange to swap things over there. So I'm thinking ahead. Same thing for up here. I am trying to slightly think ahead. So if I then, as it comes in, which will be the best one, as it comes in there, I'm trying to select the other side to get over to... It's not going to work out, is it? This is going to be very, very difficult. I can't find that path. I've still got it held. Where's the airport? I don't want to create a new line. I want to continue a line. Right, drag a new stop. So that shows us we can't find the path. But if I run over here real quick, again, can't find the path. Haha! There we go. So I don't know how it's worked out over on this side. So that goes round. So I've basically got to get it to go around in a loop. If I deleted that, it comes up to here both sides. I don't want it to come up to here both sides. So delete you. That should have now formed my loop, which it does. So that comes down to here. I should have a stop here. So the loop's only really going in one direction at the minute. I've got to set an additional loop to go in the opposite direction. But it does come round. We now have a form of public transport being connected to, I'll get a middle line, to the airport. And then we'll double back on this one then. So we got the same line, but in the opposite direction. So when they come in here, they have the option to go straight ahead, which I'll pull it on this one. And then continuing around, this will be directed to the airport. Down there. And then it will eventually finish and complete the line just there. So that will slightly change the traffic jam over here right now, because they're not waiting for a train to come in to then go back out. The train's continuing through. So, bit of a jam over here right now. I probably will eventually change the approach on a lot of this, but I'll give this time to sort itself out now with these additional loops. The only one that's now going back and forth through it is this line here, which will eventually be a loop itself, and then no one's going in to then come back out the opposite direction, basically. So, keep it like that then. My next line I'm going to create is obviously the upper side of it. So, create a line from there. End it in there, and then bring it back. But I kind of see us eventually dropping something there, which I'll probably do right now, to be honest with you. So the line comes over, so it gives us the ability to access public transport over here when we build up this area. Same for up here and over there as well. I mean, it would be probably ideal to have a stop about here too before it progresses over. And again, gives us the ability to add a stop in around here. I don't know if we would add these ones that close, but again, we have those options, which is amazing. Do you think I should key wall this? I think I should, to be honest with you. I think I should. But let me see this first. So that it crisscross happens here. Now, what stops do we have in that pack? Where's that pack right now that we could utilize? I mean, we got the standard, this one. I feel that's a bit much of a big boy. You're straight ahead. That's pretty straight. Again, pretty straight. I don't think there's any other variations, is there? That's a train station. I have this, but again, a train station. Do I have any versions in my metro side of it? Inner city, no. So it kind of does look like, I mean, I don't have any additional ones. Maybe I should probably get some more off the Steam Workshop at some point. That's all overhead, but it's a train again. So my only really decent crisscrossy one is going to be this big section here. Now, depending on where I place it, is going to determine a lot of things. I mean, we got that over there, which is pretty close. That there's pretty close, but I think it would be. I just think it's a really good way to kind of have a station where the two lines can crisscross one another. I know eventually they'll meet up over here, but just having it so close is just that additional benefit. Because if you were at the airport right now wanting to get to the stadium, you'd either skedaddle all the way around on this line to change here to get on that, to come all the way up to get off that station to go there, or go all the way up here to get up to there to interchange, come down to here. You can interchange here directly and then walk. Becomes like a really, really big lifesaver, doesn't it? So if I deleted this road just there, and then got that centralized or on the corner, I think it'll be better like that. Right, and if I just quickly pause. Delete a lot of this, because it's going to dramatically change our approaches. So this metro line then, so the tunnel side of it. Now, we're not going to use all the lines. Right? We're not going to use all of it. If I bring that down a bit, like that, I mean, it seems quite dramatic, but if I get it to bend like that, it would do its job. And then this one here, I'll delete it back to the point where we are bending here. And then go for said bend. And put it on the first one. So then if I say I delete back to here. Bend that out. Keep it straight. And in. So without me connecting the lines then, we should see the lines first pass through this. So give them a while to just kind of slightly update, because I've just caused ultimate torture to the area. So that one line has kind of slightly updated. I mean, the train's passing through, so it shows us that it does work. And yeah, they might be a bit too close, but again, just additional options. That's all I'm asking for, is additional options. So this one passes through beautifully, so I'll get it to stop there and there. I'm just waiting for this line to update right now. I think it has to kind of go back and forth first before it does update. I was seeing people at the... there's a few people getting off there. There's a lot of people walking outside too, so I'm hoping this might aid the public transport abilities. So there we go. Fully stopped right now. So stop there. Stop there. They're now crisscrossing at that point, and they also crisscross over here, which is a real big help for our public transport side of things too. Sweet, mate, then. So, now with all them connected then, it'll be interesting to see how things work out for us. So, Alright, the metro lines then. The latest one we just added in would be number... Well, it should be number 6, yeah. It's got the 3 vehicles. Line 3's got 12 vehicles. Where is line 3 right now going? Okay, so that's the most recent outer loop one I did. Doesn't need 12 vehicles. Let's bring it down to 6. Yeah, it's a little bit OTT if you ask me. OTT. So lots of passengers waiting at the airport right now, which is really good to see. That's really good to see. So we've got 674 people waiting here. Is that plane just landed or taken off? Just landed right now. 186 passengers now on board. Glorious. Now, this won't be overloaded at all, this whole junction and road, because we've set up a lot of the public transport, so that will reduce the amount of vehicles driving over here, but they do have the ability to do so at the minute, which is great. So things aren't looking too shabby, if you ask me. They are not looking too shabby. Now, a lot of time has passed by. All this residential that we recently squeezed in has now slightly started to build up, so traffic demands are going to be super duper high around here. We have a stop just over here. We have a stop just over there. We have a lot of the trams tearing through the middle. So it's looking okay. But we could spend some of that industrial and commercial demand anyway. And that will kind of spark more residential growth. Now we have this huge pocket over here of commercial that we do have added in. I'm going to push it a little bit further right now and kind of get a little bit more of it added in. So we might as well, yeah, I might as well just squeeze the whole of this to be high density commercial. Do all of this as well. It's a huge shopping district surrounded by that stop, and then around it will be residential eventually. But that will spend a lot of the demands. Now the only reason this is surviving right now is because of the interchanges of how many subway lines, metro lines you want to call it, do kind of connect. So it gives a really good ability, and there's a lot of shoppers walking about as well. So that kind of works for us in that sense. So let's take a look at key wall in this then. So key wall, which is this. Now in reality I'm going to try and get it to run at least 10 away from the runway. So 10 there, down to there. Here's a little bit different. Here is a little bit different, but I might be able to kind of work with this. So if I did 10 there, it's not going to be so much. But if I get to where we snap on with that, and then if I bring this up by another 10, try and go across to where it snaps to there. Alright, if I delete that back a bit. So it's all under the water at the minute, but get to there, and then to there where it bends. And then this should all work out on that front. So if we select it all right now and then get it to all be the same level. Right, so align to the object height of, let's say for example, U. And then we just do a bit of terraining right now. So that should be a decent enough. I mean, it's quite difficult to get this same alignment because this bends, but it's not far off. It's not far off. We'll take it. So the terraining, make this a smaller brush size. Get right into the corners, nooks and crannies. There we go. So we've key walled it to that certain extent, but how far could we take the key walling? So if I did like down here by another 10 and then cut in, down here if I kind of ran it parallel to there. So that kind of cuts off that. I could run that diagonal down to here. And it kind of all works out. So in reality, I'm just kind of selecting these 3 nodes, which should be fine for the majority of it. Bam! And then the terraforming. You've got to get right up into the nooks and crannies of the corners to be able to rise the most of this. There we go. So we just kind of keywall it off. I'll leave it like that for now because you just don't know how the rest of it is going to go. But kind of slightly sorts the edges off right now. A little bit artificial, but that's what happens when you're having the runways. And things should work out. That shouldn't be too bad. So we're slowly climbing in to 90,000 population right now. We've actually got a nice little chunk of residential growth slowly appearing. But with more commercial does mean more industrial. But all this filling up right now with residents is looking pretty damn good, if you ask me. So we'll kind of start placing our next kind of section of residents, which in reality would be around all here, because obviously we have the metro line just there. So if I fill all this in with residents, there we go, just there. And I'll do it just here as well. There's a couple of little more pockets that we're going to add in. And then what we can do right now is, because we've got this area set up, take a look at all the schooling and all the other types of services that we need to add in. So we'll first start with healthcare then. Under kind of the radar at the minute, we need more in. So I'm going to get like another life center in. Where could I place this in? That's a big gap there. Kind of big gaps there. Is there one of these which is more narrow than others? I'm sure there was. Or did we kind of fixed it all, didn't we? I feel like we kind of fixed it all. Oh, could I squeeze it like here and have the back of it? Nah, because it kind of merges in within it. Okay, so if I put this here, a nice little focal point for also serving a lot of folks down this side. But I'm going to need a second one in. And we'll throw this one in. I feel like we'll throw it just over here. There we go. So that will serve a lot of the residents in terms of the healthcare and put us within capacity, but it's not enough. Death care is a different beast altogether. Now, we've got plenty of death care, so we're okay with that. The fire side of things, hazard is quite high, so we do need a lot more of this right now. So for the fire safety, I'm going to squeeze one just here on the entrance of the main road close to the highway. That would be a big help for us on that front. Need it over here as well, so I'm actually going to squeeze it in a couple of areas that we have built up. Actually, I'll just throw it here. That would be a good little spot, which would hopefully serve a lot of this general area. Now, the next one, we're quite open over around here. So I've got to bring that fire safety stuff down. So I could literally like squeeze it here, for example, on the roundabout, which covers all of this. That's a little bit high right now around here, but when I build this, we're going to add in one there. So we brought the fire safety. Oh my goodness me. How can we not have anything over here? Right, one just there where the old crematoriums were. That will sort out the fire safety on that side, and we've literally halved the hazard, just like that. It's pretty good. Crime is pretty low. But we could do with like the enforcer tower on this side as well. So I'm going to squeeze that here facing that way. Nice another enforcer tower just to kind of aid the policing side of things. Even though we got the capacity for the crematoriums, there's a lot of death going around right now, isn't there? So where are they? There's a couple over here. I do need to set up like a little crematorium hotspot, don't I? There's a lot of death going on over here right now. I'm going to place the odd one or two crems right now near the park area. I feel like that will be a good little area for the services to take place. So I think just dropping one there will kind of aid the area slightly. And it'll do okay. It'll do okay. Right, residents starting to move in. Then this area is slowly coming to life. This is quite a dense little section. So I think next episode then we should definitely look at setting up a few more city parks right now, getting a few more leisure items in so we can slowly start upgrading the current buildings that we do have to bring more population in. We're up to an over 90,000 population right now, which is huge. Absolutely huge right now. 500 people using the airport, which is really, really good to see. This new little kind of stacked crossover right now, 117 people using it, so it becomes a big benefit for those guys. And then this as well is going to be up and up even higher as well, because now we're bringing more people in. But if you notice that the more we have the public transport connected, less traffic we have when we're starting to move people in. I mean, we've still got quite a bit of traffic, but it's really starting to minimize of how bad it once was. Now we have the public transport in. They're able to navigate a whole lot easier. But there's still many issues. There is still many issues throughout this right now. We have the despawn currently enabled, so they can disappear if they get too stuck. I don't want to turn it off just yet, because oh, mayhem will ensue. And we don't really quite want that at the minute. But people are moving in dramatically. Look at that, up to 800 a weekly change right now. They're moving in, guys. That they want to live in the Foolsopolis right now. But yeah, we need more leisure facilities and stuff like that. A few more parks dotted around. It will enable us to make also some more cash and slowly progress our way to removing the unlimited money mod. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good. Bye.